The Aroma Wan Yu Amp Deck. Let's talk about it. Now, this was purchased from Music Tech with a slight discount, and I wanted to thank them for sending this out. This is named after the black turtle snake from Chinese culture. I don't know a ton about it, but it has a lot of cool lore behind it. This is a beautiful, well-made amp deck. It has a very unique design and build quality, and I like it a great deal. I like the red and yellow. It has a 4.4 and a 3.5. It does some pretty awesome things. Its sound is appropriate for its price, but it's a unique DAC amp. It has some awesome features that I wanted to talk to you guys about. First of all, let's look at the page. You'll notice some beautiful features here. It does a lot of things really well, but it has two different amp DACs that you can put in there. There's an HD op amp and a vocal aroma op amp as well to switch in. We will talk later how you can do this. This does have a fair amount of power, and I was able to drive all my IEMs and all my headphones from this. And I found that this does a really good job. I found that this could be a desktop replacement for what I would use this device for, and I was super impressed with what it does. The form factor of this, the only other thing that I know of is the Allegro from Kiwi Ears, and this is a fine amp DAC. I have not yet heard it or reviewed it, but it does kind of have an interesting form factor. So I think one of the best things about this is just that its form factor is absolutely gorgeous, and you can change out the op amps. Now, spoiler, I do like the originally installed op amp to this, and I do find this process a little bit tedious. A little bit about me: I'm a former electrician and small voltage electrician. I've worked on some stuff in the past, so I know a little bit about electronics, but probably enough to make me dangerous and annoying rather than actually super knowledgeable. But this is the kind of thing that I have done before in the past. Now, the screwdriver it does come with, it is unique, and it allows you to open this up and only this up, and it will not work on the other screws on the top, so it's pretty easy in that regards to get this off. So getting this off is a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad. When you do get it off, I want you to notice in the drawings and on the back, there is a little curve, like a little circle on the lower right of where you need to replace these at. So when you take these out and replace them, you're going to need to put the other ones in that exact same lower right. Now, it is a little bit of a problem to take these out and put these in. Some people might find this really easy, but for me, I'm like mid-40s. It's a little bit tough for me. It's something that's not super easy to do, but it is something that, I think most people can figure out in 5 minutes to maybe 15 minutes. But it's not something that you can just hit a switch on and A/B these op amps to your best delight. And so that is a little bit of a concern if that's something you want to do. It's more of something that you need to really sit down and be careful because the screws are small to really take care of. But after we take a minute and we look and double check that we get everything in the right way, we can finally install these and put it together. Like I said, right here, you'll notice where they are installed in that lower right. And so we can take our op amps and go ahead and put them in and swap them out. Again, not a terrible process, but it is a little bit tedious and a little bit trying, but it has pretty fair instructions of how to do it. And I think most people will be able to figure it out in a few minutes, but it is easy to bend the pins when you put them in. Now, the casting material is aerospace aluminum alloy, often used in CNC cutting technology. The result is that this feels very weighty and very nice on your desk. Oftentimes when you buy an expensive product in audio land, you're not necessarily getting a better sounding DAC or device. You're getting a little bit of a better and more well-built device that has a beautiful design and look to it. Now, I do have other DAC amps to compare this to. I do have the iBasso DC04 07, which is a nice DAC amp, which is fairly expensive at $200. And I do want to say that sonically, I would say I like this more. I do have a disclaimer about this, how I feel about sound, that I'll show you at the end of my video. But I do feel that like most DAC amps are very similar, and it comes down to build quality and feel in hand. The DC-07 Pro does have, this nice cable, so you can switch out the cable if you want, whereas the Yuan only has the one plug on top, but it does have a great feeling in hand, and it does have the same connection. So I think if you're trying to save money, there are other options out there. But if you're looking for an amazing, well-built device that sounds fantastic, I think the Yuan XU DAC amp can do really well, and it does have dual CS3119 decoding chips, and so they are new DAC chips, and I think they do very well, and it sounds fantastic, almost like a desktop style unit. So all in all, this is an expensive DAC amp, and I am happy to be able to share this with you guys. Sonically, it is a treasure. Design-wise, it looks and feels fantastic in hands. I think if you're in the market for this and you need something with this style form factor and this looks appealing to you, this could be an absolute winner, as this feels fantastic in hand. It has multiple DAC amp chips that you can swap out, which gives it a lot of versatility, and it's also extremely beautiful. I had a great time testing this, and if you guys have any questions, let me know in the video notes below. My disclaimer about how I feel about amps will be below. Hope you guys have a great day. This is the sun on the left and UI Scooty on the right. You can tell by this scale that UI Scooty is a much larger star than our sun and much brighter. Here is a drawing of another star, but this is about how big UI Scooty would be. It would go all the way out to basically Jupiter. It'd be huge. So back to our original picture. On the left are DAC and amps, and on the right are headphones. My personal opinion is that while DACs and amps can burn you and have a huge effect, they are not nearly as important as headphones are. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?